Hey guys, we are coming to the most exciting part of this year, the festive season. And I know the excitement have started kicking in because anyway, having gone through the whole year, this time is the time we get to relax and enjoy and even have time with our family. Most of the time we get excited and we overspend, and then January comes and then we have this bad financial mess, and then by the time we are recovering, we are around first quarter of the year, and this is something that has gone on over and over again. And because I love you so much guys, I decided to do this video so that I give you some tips of making sure that you don't get broke the start of the year, and you know how you can spend your money during this festive season. Hi guys, welcome again to another episode of Financial Literacy. My name is Jane Dishu and I'm a financial advisor. Thank you so much for being here and watching this content. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. The first tip is to make sure that you pay your expenses for January the moment you receive your income or your salary. So most of the time you'll find the January salary will be paid in December, and most of us end up not planning well. So when it comes to January, you don't have money. And to make sure you don't get yourself there, make sure that when you get your January salary in December, make sure you budget for it and make sure you sort your January expenses, like paying school fees, buying the necessities or the things that you will need, like doing shopping, your transport money. If you need maybe to upgrade something in January, make sure that you stick to that budget. Do not forget that that salary that you're going to receive mid of December is going to sustain you for the rest of the whole month of January. For the business people, I know most of the time December is a high season. You're getting a lot of sales and you're going to make a lot of money. That translates to January being a slow month. It means that the income that you get this time where you have the flash sales or you're getting so many sales, make sure that you budget for it to push you through until January. So if you make a lot of money in December, use it to facilitate or to cover up for your January expenses, because definitely it's going to be a slow month for most of the businesses. This is going to save you a lot because you will never know a bad month, because you will get to January and your life will continue the same. So do not get the excitement of having that income and using it or spending it in those festive expenses. So make sure you use it accordingly, and remember that it is the salary that is supposed to push you through until the end of the month of January. The second of the thing is avoid so much of movement. So most of the time we have been cocooned to this point of traveling in December. So what happens if maybe you're using a car or a car hire, you'll fuel your car, and most of the time you'll find even the fare prices have hiked. So if you have a lot of movement, a lot of unnecessary movement, most of the time you're going to find that you're going to spend a lot of money on transport, which was not necessary. So make sure that you weigh your options on movement, and make sure that you can be able to pre-plan, that you don't have to go to your village twice or thrice the same season. Like I see so many people, maybe they go home around the Christmas holidays and then they come back to Nairobi, and it's like a difference of 4 or 5 days to the end of the year, and then they come back for the New Eve celebrations. So it's like you have gone back and forth for quite like 4 times or 4 trips. So I tend to say, like, if you know that you're planning to take a holiday back to the village or maybe a vacation or something close to that, make sure that you plan it accordingly, and make sure that if you can be able to avoid the hiked fare prices and fuel prices, that you can be able to do that. When I'm saying about hiked fuel prices, I'm not meaning typically like the fuel prices are going to go up in December, but most of the time you'll find that we have a lot of traffic around that period, mostly on those days when most people are traveling. So if you're the kind of a person who can be able to pre-plan, or if you're a person who can be able to travel earlier, if maybe you get a leave earlier, it's easily possible to make sure that you travel when the fare or the prices or the traffic is lower. So it means you're going to save on your fuel, you're going also to save on the fare expenses. The other thing, if you don't have to go somewhere, you don't have to just fix it because it's festive season. If it's not within your budget, or if it's not something that you had planned to do the whole of the year, make sure that you don't get the excitement and you travel unnecessarily because everyone is doing it, or because you feel like you don't have an activity or things that you can also do. Another thing, if you are creative enough, some of the activities that we travel so long to go and get, you can actually spend them. Like most of the time, I see most families get to do that time, maybe to take trips to places, maybe to do camping and such things around that period of time. But most of the time, these are activities that you can actually enjoy indoors. You can have your family time and such things. Like these are things that you can afford. Sometimes you don't have to take those expensive things because there is always an affordable quality option for you. If it's within your budget, well and good. But if it's going to affect your spending, or it will going to be overboard the amount of money that you were supposed to spend, make sure that you limit this. That thing is to make sure that you weigh your options of hosting. So I know around the festive season, you'll have a lot of visitors. Like you'll have everyone who wants to know where you live, where you are, and most of the time we'll have a lot of visitors. And I'm not saying that we should not have visitors, but I'm saying that make sure that you budget on the same. So when I'm saying that you limit your hosting, I mean if it's not necessary to have so many people in your house. It's not actually like something you'll have to accommodate. If it's not in your budget, do not feel like it's something that you have to do. Do not go overboard. Another thing, if you're planning to host a celebration, or maybe if you're planning to cook for some people to have an indoor gathering or close to that, make sure that you can be able to do bulk shopping. It's going to save you a lot on the amount of money that you're going to spend mostly when you are eating out. So if you are hosting, weigh your options of getting the most affordable rates, the most affordable eateries, the most affordable options that are around. Do not overspend, because I have seen people, you were not budgeting maybe to upgrade your house, but because you have heard that your cousins are supposed to come for a meeting in December, you are taking a loan to buy new furnitures because they have to find your house in a new structure. Like I always tell people, why not suggest you eat out in a hotel if you feel like hosting them in your place is going to get you into a financial mess. Like, do not do the unnecessary impulse buying because you are hosting. There is always a better option of hosting. There is always a cheaper and quality option. So weigh your options and make sure any decision that you make on spending on hosting, that it is within your budget and it's not going to get you in a financial mess. The other thing, make sure that you avoid the excitement. I'm not saying that you should not be excited, but whatever I'm saying is you should avoid the overexcitement. You see, the excitement of feeling like this is the best time of the year, we only live once, like I need to spend, like we can start next year, like that whole excitement, and you find yourself getting the peer pressure of whatever other people are doing, even if it's not something you can afford. Mostly when you meet with your family, your friends from the village, so you end up finding yourself in a situation where they're influencing your decisions when it comes to finances. And most of the time, they are going to give you these titles of Mheshimiwa, chairman, how is Nairobi, how is Maju, like can you buy one for us? Like I'm not saying that it is bad, but if it's not within your budget, if it's not something that you planned to do, make sure that you're responsible, or you're responsible with your excitement. So don't get the peer pressure. Do not get to a point where you're going to overspend because you feel like you need to show people what you came to Nairobi to do. Do not forget that you're going to come back. Do not forget that if you're going to get yourself in a financial mess, it's going to catch up with you. So as you are planning, make sure that it is within your budget. And learn when to leave the dance floor. Like it is very important to know when the party is over and to know when you're supposed to call it a quit. I always say, like, if you had traveled and you realize that you had said that you're going to spend 20,000, that's the budget for the whole Christmas, and you realize that you're remaining with only 5,000, it's time you start telling them that you are being called back to Nairobi, or you're supposed to come back to Nairobi. Do not stick in that situation and you find yourself that you're getting yourself in a financial fix. So just learn when to call it a quit. Just learn when to create a story and to come back to save yourself from a financial mess. And the last thing, no matter what you do this festive season, do not get yourself into debt. I know at that particular point your bank is telling you that you can get a loan. They are telling you that you can get an overdraft. Like there are so many offers around those mobile apps. There's so many people offering to give you money. Utanirudishia next year, mzee. Like utanirudishia. To don't have a problem around it. So no matter what you do this festive season, do not get yourself in bad debts, because if there's something wrong with starting your year with bad debts that you had not planned, it's going to mess like your first quarter. And by the time you realize we're done with first quarter, we are almost half of the year, and there's so many things that you wanted to achieve for the particular other year, it's going to be so hard for you. And then the last thing, a bonus for you all, because you stick around. If you're going to be receiving dividends, if you're going to be receiving bonuses, if you're going to be receiving any incentives, make sure that you allocate them to the right thing. So if you receive maybe a voucher, make sure you take advantage of that shopping. And if you feel like you had budgeted already for that shopping, you can take that voucher maybe to next year, do your January shopping, or do something close to that. Take advantage of the offers that you get. Take advantages of the incentives. If you are supposed to start a savings and investment and you don't know how to fund it or something close to that, and you receive like an incentive or you receive a bonus, make sure that you utilize it, and you can be able to set up your savings and investment in December, because it's the best time to invest, because it's always the best time to receive your bonuses, to receive your interest, to receive all the good money that you would want to receive. And guys, if you're planning to be traveling, make sure that you're very safe. Make sure that you observe all the road rules so that you don't also get yourself in the wrong with the government, and you also don't cause maybe accidents and such things. Make sure you protect each other, like you make sure that it is the best happy time you can always have. And guys, I hope these tips are going to help you, and the money that we saved from January to now for the festive season, it's going to be well budgeted for and well allocated. And when we'll be starting 2025, it will be a year of celebrations and a good year to start with. And until next time, thank you.